So as I've stated before, understanding the specifiers and diagnostic criteria with any diagnosis and disorders is important when we as clinicians are diagnosing our clients. So this week we covered generalized anxiety disorder and social anxiety disorder, as well as just many other anxiety disorders. Now, I like to really simplify things before I dive deep into my studies. So, what is the definition of anxiety? Now, the psychology terminology published in 2019 with the author of Regina Ward Snyder. According to this psychology terminology overview study guide, anxiety is defined as internal stress or worry causing physiological changes. Now, right below it, it defines anxiety disorder as disproportional anxiety as it relates to negative stimuli. Now, the first question is to discuss key factors that define anxiety disorders. Key factors that define anxiety disorders are excessive fear, anxiety, and related behavioral disturbances, according to the DSM-5. Now, DSM-5 also states that the symptoms of anxiety must persist for most of the day, mostly every day, for at least 6 months. It is worth noting that fear is talking about a more present, immediate threat, whereas anxiety is involving more of like an anticipation of a future threat. Now, a good example would be our fight or flight response to something like a tiger or a lion. I mean, that is a legitimate fear. It's going to trigger a lot of physiological changes in our body. Now, anxiety would be if I am set to give a presentation, a video presentation, or present on a project at work 1 week from now. Probably going to experience some anxiety on a daily basis, especially if I procrastinate and do not prepare in a timely manner. My anxiety is just going to build up. Again, we're talking about me anticipating a future threat or circumstance. The YouTube video published in 2022 by Memorable Psychiatric and Neurology also states that in order for anxiety to be generalized and excessive, it must be clearly disproportionate from the level of anxiety that most people experience, and it involves worries in multiple areas of life. Now, this same YouTube video, it was worth noting that this same YouTube video also said that, anxiety in of itself is not a bad thing. It's not inherently bad. It is when it becomes excessive that it starts to be counterproductive for us. Anxiety helps us to anticipate unfortunate circumstances. So anxiety is served as a motivating factor for us to take steps to avoid certain negative outcomes or situations. So I have talked a little bit about some key factors that make up generalized anxiety disorder. So the thing about social anxiety disorder and how it differs from generalized anxiety disorder is obviously its emphasis on other people or social situations, if you will. A person with social anxiety disorder has an excessive fear of being scrutinized by others. And most people have experienced a degree of social anxiety when they have to give a big speech or present over a project that they've been working on. The thing about a person with social anxiety disorder is they experience these excessive symptoms of social anxiety in almost all social situations, and nearly every day. These symptoms occur nearly every day for at least 6 months. And it's important to have specifiers for not only social anxiety disorders, but generalized anxiety disorders, because we want to make sure, according to these specifiers and criteria, that these anxiety symptoms, are not a product of the person using substance or medication, and they also cannot be due to another mental health condition or medical condition. That is why it's important to get really familiar with diagnostic criteria and specifiers.